Hey y'all, well, as usual, Daisy and I have got a ton of information to bring to you on the Appalachian Trail through hikers. We got a ton of hikers that are checking in. We are right at the pretty much almost in the middle of the bubble, and they're sending in their updates left and right. Got a few intros as well and some news. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So, who we got first up? Well, first up, we got an intro. We got Mary Ellen. Mary Ellen sends in their update.
Hello, Ramdino and hiker community. Mary Ellen here to let you all know that Saturday, March 14th, I'm going to be at Amicalola State Park. Sign in, grab my tag, and the long march to Katahdin. Join me if you like. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And we got J-Dub.
Howdy, Ramdino. This is J-Dub from Tucson, Arizona. Greetings. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody on the Appalachian Trail starting March 26th. I'm looking forward to it and going to a place where the water is plentiful rather than scarce out here. But I know it won't be an easy hike because although we have switchbacks out here for our mountains, your trail, you go straight up. So that's going to be a tough climb. So I am looking forward to it, but I'm dreading it a little bit. Anyway, I want to dedicate my hike to the late great thru-hiker Bill Irwin, who through his book inspired me to long distance hiking. Bill, of course, as you probably know, was a fine Christian hiker who was blind, and he completed the AT in 1990 with his guide dog. Anyway, we'll see you all March 26th.
J-Dub gets the prize for doing his intro in front of the most unusual plant matter of the day. It even beats the old warty tree behind me and Daisy here, right? And then we also got Jess. She sends in her intro.
Hi, my name is Jess with one S, and this is my official announcement for my thru-hike attempt at the Appalachian Trail, leaving on March 10th, my 56th birthday. And I will start at the approach trail at Amicalola Falls, and that's in Georgia, and I will try to make the whole 2,200 miles all the way up to Maine. Should take me 6 months. Thank you to everyone who has supported me and will continue to support me on this journey, especially my husband and my children and my community that I'm going to lean on while I'm gone. And you can follow me at 1S Wanders on my YouTube channel, and we'll see how I do. Wish me luck.
Well, she is on trail, and she reports in. She's got some information from her check-in down at Amicalola Falls State Park, where she indicated that they told her down there on the fire closures that during the information session that the fire closures, she affirmed that that would not prevent hikers from hiking the trail. They weren't going to close the trail. They would just kind of pause hikers for a bit, maybe escort them through the section there where they were having, excuse you, bless you, Daisy, where they were having where the fire was going on. And the fire, of course, these are just preemptive and preventive fires that they are setting to prevent, to get rid of the fuel that's already on the ground there. That a lot of this is from Helene, and they want to make sure that this is not going to start any type of fires in the future. And so they're burning that. There was one up at Max Patch, and that was 2 days ago. And so we had a storm system move through there, and that probably killed that one, made it inactive. However, the fire service indicated on their Facebook page that it would start on the 6th, but they didn't say when it would stop. So if you're hiking through that area, let me know if that is out and they're done with it through there. It's going to be like a 4-mile road walk up Max Patch Road to Lemon Gap there. So you weren't going to be able to actually hike on the Appalachian Trail through there, which is unfortunate because, of course, everybody's hiking the AT, so they want to hike the AT, not do the road walk. It would still count towards your 2,000-mile certificate if that's something that's important to you from the ATC. However, that probably is out now. I looked on the fire burn, the fire satellite pictures, or images that show where there's fire or smoke or bad air quality, and that didn't show anything going on Max Patch. So I'm pretty sure that's out. But if you're hiking through that area, let me know. It also indicated that they told her down at the Amicalola Falls State Park, and right now the Georgia Appalachian Trail Club is kind of running things down there as far as the AT signups and people getting on trail registrations, and of course handing out bag tags, and they're doing their courses, their classes that you're required to take in order to get your bag tag. But they recommended not using an earth sack. So there's basically 3 ways to store your food. You can store it in a tree, you can store it in a bare barrel, plastic, weighs a lot. It's got a really heavy-duty lid on it, heavy-duty plastic, so it weighs a lot. Most people don't like to use that. It's called a bear canister. Or you can use an earth sack. The earth sack they recommend not using. I recommend not using because I have seen a ton of earth sacks that were defeated. It's supposed to be made out of something that the bears can't get to, and you can also buy a second piece with it that supposed to prevent smells. But I have seen a lot of earth sacks defeated and hiker food and trash all over the place because of that. So they're recommending against it. I'm recommending against it. If you're not going to use the traditional food hang, then get a bear canister if you don't mind carrying that weight. If you're going to camp through the section there at Jared Gap, which is that first section from Springer to Neal's Gap, there at Jared Gap on into Neal's Gap, you are required to have a bear canister if you stay overnight. So that would include the shelter at the top of Blood Mountain there. So unless you're going to stay there overnight, you don't have to worry about a canister to hike through there. Quid also indicated that her bag tag number was number 680, I believe is what she said. She did say that she had seen several people that were section hikers that also had bag tags, and she was under the impression that they were pretty much only for thru hikers. And so if section hikers can get them and they write their number on them, it's, the numbers are pretty pointless. And she's right about that. Section hikers can pick up bag tags and they'll write a number on what your registration was on that down there. And so that's not a great tracking system. It's really the only one we have of how many people have stepped off down there. I used to be able to call down there and find out, and I no longer have a point of contact down there that will tell me how many people have stepped off for these reports. So that's unfortunate. Typically, I can just call the Amicalola Falls State Park desk and they'll tell me, but once the Georgia Appalachian Trail Club starts, they don't share that with me. I just don't have a contact that would share that information with me. So, but she was 680, so somewhere around there is what she's saying has stepped off. So she's correct that those numbers really don't mean too much right now. Particularly, if you started early and you get to Damascus is the next place you can get a bag tag, or you're going to get a different number there. So that's not something that really means a lot. Then we got an update from Thumbs and Sweets on day 9.
Hey Ramdino, what's up? It is day 9 for us, the morning of day 9, and we are sitting on top of Wyabald, however you say it, at the tower, and loving it. This is Thumbs Up and Sweets, and we're having a good old time out here on the Appalachian Trail.
And Mousetrap sends in her intro and on-trail update.
Hey Ramdino, this is Jackie from Northeast Florida. I've always wanted to hike the Appalachian Trail. My son graduated a year early and I quit my job, so here I am. So this is my intro and update. I've been named Mousetrap, and I've had some really good trail magic so far, and I'm currently on Preacher Rock. And
she also told me in an email that she also had had some trail magic from Miss Janet, icon of the trail, iconic trail angel of the trail. And Miss Janet has a dog, and she got to hike with Miss Janet's dog Dexter for a slack pack through there. So that's awesome. And we got Forrest and Polchar. They check in.
What's up, everybody? Tomorrow we'll be at Fontana Dam, and then after that we'll be in the Smokies.
Hey Ramdino and everybody. Yeah, we're at mile 148, so we're close to the beginning of the Smokies, and everything's going great. We just wanted to check in. The trail conditions have been awesome. Hardly any blowdowns. Today the weather is probably getting close to the upper 60s, I would say, so
Yeah.
it's pretty nice.
For everybody that couldn't find my channel, it's Forest Outdoors 59 now. Peace out.
Bye.
David checks in from the trail.
Hey, Ram, Dino, and friends. This is David from the Appalachian Trail, day 2, checking in. My first check-in with you. It's going great so far. Look at this beautiful weather and views. Stayed at Hawk Mountain Shelter last night, and just a heads up in case you don't get the little briefing at Amicalola Falls, there are Army Rangers there, and they did a whole-on Red Dawn war from like 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. So if you have any PTSD, maybe you just skip that shelter to stay in, but having a great time. Got to go about 10 miles a day and take it from there. So we'll see you guys up the trail.
And Big T checks in from the Smokies.
Hey Ramdino, it's Big T on the AT-26, day 17 for me. I'm in the Smokies, just past Clingman's Dome. It's a rainy day today, but it's been great weather so far in the Smokies. It's been an awesome time through the Smokies. There's no snow except for coming off of Clingman's. There's some ice that hadn't melted yet, but next few days it'll probably be gone. But it's pretty slick through a little about a 200-300 yard section. Looking forward to get down to Newfound Gap and getting off tonight and getting back on tomorrow. See you later.
And John checks in from Springer.
Hey Ramdino, Outdoors with John here. I made it to Springer Mountain. I'm excited to get started on the AT. I came in from Connecticut on the train, got off at Gainesville. Bandit's AT shuttles took me to the Amicalola Falls. Yesterday I did the approach trail to Black Gap, and today, in the morning, I'm standing on Springer Mountain. Looking forward to this exciting journey. Thanks for all you do, Ramdino.
Wander, who has a new trail name, he checks in from the area on the trail through Tennessee where they had all the devastation.
Hello, Ramdino. This is Wandering, formerly Gary's Wanderings. My name has been shortened to Wander. I'm here just north of Iron Mountain Gap. It's been a beautiful day today, and this is my day 37 on the trail, and things are going well. And just wanted to give you guys a quick look around. Got a lot of devastation that I'm going through. I expect to see more farther down the trail. But today's been a great day. And thank you, Ramdino, for all the support you give for the hiking community. You all have a great day.
Thunder, Big Man, and Storm, they send in their check-in.
Hey, Ramdino. Thunder here.
And Big Man.
And Storm. Say hi, Storm. Storm's not allowed to date Daisy. That's just, he's too young for that.
Daddy won't allow it.
Have a good day, Ramdino. Thanks for everything you do, bud. Bye.
Good boy, Coda, yeah. And right on cue, I think the hiker community had something to say about whether or not Daisy is suitable for Storm. I don't think that Storm could keep up with you, could he, girl? Nope, I don't think he could. Good girl. And Hiking on a Prayer checks in.
Hey Ramdino, it's Kristen, Hiking on a Prayer, and I'm checking in at, you guessed it, the Green Dragon for my very first 0 day. A well-deserved, if you ask my opinion. Got all the way to Dix Creek Gap, and the trails have been absolutely gorgeous. Thank you so much to all the trail maintainers. I've had no problems. The views are absolutely stunning, and the people are even more amazing. Can't thank you all enough for everything that you do, and thank you, Ramdino, for all that you do for the trail community. After this rest day, I'm going to continue heading north. So we'll see you out there. Take care.
Titanium, he checks in from the new staircase there at Green Cove Corner Road, just after he got out of the Smokies.
Hi, this is Titanium. I'm at the stairway here behind me. I just came out of the Smoky Mountains. Ramdino, I wanted to say hi, and this is my third thru-hike attempt. Came off last year in Newfound Gap, but I thought I'd start with the report. Smokies are free and clear. Can get past them, get it through them easy. There's only a little bit of ice around coming out of Kawaii, and there's some ice coming out of Newfound Gap. Otherwise, it's all pretty good. Not a lot of water between the shelters though, so you be aware of that. Ran into a lot of great people, meeting a lot of people. The whole thing is doing really well, and everyone out here is just being real generous and helpful. So today is March 3rd, and it's about 5 p.m. and I hope you're doing well, and I'm glad that you're feeling better. My wife and I have been watching you since 2022.
Thanks a lot, Titanium. Great information for the hikers coming behind you. Good to hear all those different trail conditions that you shared with us. And Thunder, he checks in from the North Carolina state line.
Hey Ramdino, Thunder here. Really happy to hear about your good news from this past week. We have a little bit of good news, not quite as big and important as yours, but...
Well, they made one state down, 13 more to go.
Storm doesn't care.
Congratulations to Thunder for making it through your first state, getting out of Georgia. That is awesome. And Gemini, she has made it through the Roan Highland. She's got about 26 miles left on her, what we call it, the SKT attempt, right? Slowest Known Time on her flip-flop from 25 to 26. So she said that Roan High Knob still had some ice on the trail a few days ago. Of course, the Roan High Knob shelter's closed, but she said that she did have to use some micro spikes to make it safer. She made it over that, of course. Said most of the snow and ice is gone everywhere then north of Roan Mountain, Tennessee, and she intends on finishing there at Nobo Mile 416.3 with Emoji. Of course, Emoji's a well-known trail angel as well in that area, and Emoji's going to meet and hike her for the last few miles. She's going to finish off on her, as she calls it, her slow bow. And we're going to hear from her in just a minute one more time as well. And then Rick, he has made it to Fontana. He should be in the Smokies, and he also indicated that he had another sighting to give us of Bag Bowl there at the Fontana Hilton there at the Fontana Dam. So we're not getting updates from Bag Bowl himself. Bag Bowl was going to start updating us, but we get it from other people out there. Of course, Bag Bowl is on the Eastern Continental Divide Trail. He started in Key West and is going all the way up to Newfoundland. And then we got Long Term. He reports in with his intro and his on trail update.
All right, Ramdino, brother, this video is for you. I'm Long Term, class of 2021. I just had to get back out here and do it again. I am sitting here walking here right now on the way to Hawk Mountain Shelter. I did Springer last night, and probably can go to Cooper's, go above the clouds, say hey to Lucky, see if my old buddy Scully's still there. But it's a great day. It's a little chilly, but feeling good. My YouTube channel, Long Term and Georgia Girl, look us up. I got a backstory there about me, my hiking, and a little bit about why I say that I'm a cyborg, because I have 2 electrical probes going into the middle of my skull with electrical stimulation coming out of a pacemaker in my chest for advanced Parkinson's disease. I'd be dead without it. But here I am, hiking the Appalachian Trail. Prepper, I'm on your heels, buddy. I'm kidding. I won't reach you, but hope y'all are doing well up there. And Ramdino, I'll see you on trail, brother.
Blade Runner and Cowboy, they are in the Smokies, and they have gone over the 200-mile mark. Blade Runner is having some issues with his knee, and he's pretty sure he's going to have to get off at Hot Springs and go home and get it fixed. So we'll see if when he gets back on trail, but he thinks he'll probably have to turn his hike into a flip-flop because of that. Carrie Sue is near North Carolina. She'll be coming in there to North Carolina. She said since Hawk Shelter, she's seen 2 people leave the trail, one for a bad trip, another because they just plain out were not prepared for trying to walk in a pack that's 60 pounds. Really no reason to be carrying a 60-pound pack out there. You just got way too much stuff, and I don't know that anybody could be prepared to carry a 60-pound pack. She did say Trey Gap Shelter had 2 bear cubs with no mama around. I can guarantee you, if there's bear cubs, there's a mama around somewhere, and the fact that you don't see that mama and the bear cubs is really pretty scary. She said wildlife rangers had been up there and said the cubs were gone now. That don't mean that they're gone for good. But the ridge runners were giving them lots of reports about bears near tents and shelters after Low Gap into the Smokies. So if you have a bear encounter, and I don't mean if you just see one, but if you see one that's really close to you, one that's acting aggressive, one that's taking your food, one that bluff charge you, something like that other than just a sighting, that needs to be reported to the ATC. And they have a reporting form. I'll leave that link down below where you can go and do that. But they're supposed to get in touch with the Forest Service and the rangers in those areas and let them know what's going on so that can be stopped. And then we got Timber and Eek, and they report in.
Hi, Ramdino. Hello, friends. It is Timber and we are at the end of the Smoky Mountains. And we have a guest with us today.
I'm back!
We have Pappy with us, who had spent 1 month and how many days?
4 days.
4 days
He's
in
been
the
our
Smokies.
trail guide.
And
a lot of fun.
he is the Van Wilder of the Smoky Mountains.
I have been ran out for 3-foot deep snow, super cold, a hurt ankle, and I'm finally finishing the Smokies.
And he's ending in shorts.
Yeah, short. I'm leaving in shorts. I got here in 3-foot deep snow. I'm leaving in shorts. Thank you, Smokies.
Well, it's been a great day, and it is amazing to be here.
Yes.
There's still ice coming down Bobsled Run, and on the other side of Ice Water Shelter, there's still some ice on trail, but not much.
Yes.
Well, take care, and we'll see you later. Thank you.
Thanks, Ramdino.
Bye.
Grampy, he sends in his update.
Good morning, Ramdino. It's March the 4th. About 10 minutes after 9. I'm on top of Powell Mountain. Nice views from the lookout. Just thought I'd show you this. Weather's been pretty good. Little rain like night before last. Little breezy, but not too bad. Been some good hiking days. We've only had one, I can't remember the date, last week. That rained pretty hard and I'm real windy. But anyway, it's nice to be out here. You ought to come out here and join us. Great views. Talk to you later. This is Grampy on Trail.
Ash and Tie-Dye Goat, they send in their update.
Hey, Ramdino, this is Ash.
And Tie-Dye Goat. All right, the two of us kind of got the zoomies, and we're way ahead of the pack. And today, we're not quite right in the head. So we started at, where were we? Iron Mountain?
Iron Mountain.
Iron Mountain Shelter. And at this very moment, I think we're at 23 miles, or at the Virginia state line. And we've got 3.5 more to go. And we will be in Damascus. We just wanted to give you an update. Trail's been good except for before Iron Mountain. The stretch between Van Deventer and Iron Mountain, blowdowns, lots of them. Ready?
Thanks, Ramdino.
Bye.
So they have found another gear. They have left the Prepper Hikes Tramley, and they look like they are somewhere maybe 100 miles in front of him, in front of that rest of that, and they are, looks like north of Damascus by now. Of course, they mentioned there that there was a lot of blowdowns trail north of Vandervilter. Vandervilter Shelter is after the Wilbur Dam Road there at the Watauga Dam. So I believe it's the next shelter up. And from that point, not quite to Damascus, but on into the next road crossing is a wilderness area. So you can't use chainsaws. The Tennessee Eastman Hiking Club can't get in there with chainsaws. You can only clear it with manual stuff. So if it's too big for a pair of nippers or a hand saw, you got to get a crosscut saw in there. That takes forever. Saws, was, my understanding, was going to get in this past week, but apparently they haven't got there yet. And so don't know when that's going to get cleared. And of course, Prepper Hike, he checks in.
Hello, Ramdino from mile 401, Jones Falls. Some man's got me. Who is that over there? Who is that?
Yeah, Subster.
Subster. Who's
That's Tribe. We picked Tribe back up to hike with us for a couple days, so here we are. We're doing good, and the weather's good, and the falls.
The view is awesome.
Are beautiful. Appalachian Trail 2.0, baby. Let's go. Good morning, Ramdino.
Hey, Ramdino.
Laurel Falls. We are trucking along, maybe mile 422, 423. We are having a blast. Appalachian Trail 2.0. Let's go, baby.
Yeehaw, brother.
So we did have one that's got off the trail that's reported in, and that's Paul from Florida. He had an accident there, fell off at Lance Creek, and he said fractured both his wrists. Now, when I fractured my one wrist, I had to have surgery and had to have a hardware update with a titanium plate and 13 screws. He didn't have to have that, so he said it's going to be about 6 to 7 weeks before he gets back on trail to give that time to heal. But it's definitely going to turn that into a flip-flop. So, Paul, hope to see you back out there. Sorry that happened to you, but like we said before, the AT don't have handrails out there. And then we had a finish this week, and of course, that was Gemini. So Gemini finished on her slowest known time attempt on her slow bow, and she finished there at mile 416.3 with 345 days on trail. Now, she came and went a little bit. That wasn't straight 345 days. She came home for different stuff and everything. But as long as you get it in within 365 days, then it is considered a through hike by the ATC, if that matters to you, and pretty much the rest of the hiking world as well. So not a pure through hike, but that doesn't matter. It's a through hike. She's done the entire Appalachian Trail in a year. That is awesome. Congratulations to you, Gemini. So glad and appreciate the updates that you had sent us. Thanks for all those check-ins. If you're out there on the trail, you want to check in, please do that. You can do that by sending it to me a 30-second video through email or a selfie through email with a text of what the trail conditions are going on. You can send it. It works out. A lot of people having good success with Facebook Messenger and Instagram Messenger. Or if you can't get it to go on an email, you can send it to me through iCloud. A lot of people using iPhones as an iCloud link. Or if you're an Android, you can just download it to your drive there and send me that link, and I can harvest it. Make sure I've got access to it so that I can download that. But those are all ways that you can do that. Appreciate folks that are doing that out there for us. Please do not send me a YouTube link. I cannot download a YouTube link. I must have that MP4 MOV file to come in and do that. So, registration for this week, of course, it's been a few weeks since we gave you the registration stats there. We had a total increase since last time of 509 NOBO for a total 2,132 NOBO, 16 flip-floppers for a total of 116, and 12 more SOBO for a total of 65. So that gives us an increase of 537 hikers over the last time for a total right now of 2,313 hikers that have registered their hike with the ATC. Now, that does not mean that is the only hikers that are out there hiking. Anywhere from 10 to 25% of people don't actually register their hike. You're not required to get on trail. That's just something that the ATC requests that you could do, so we have those stats, so we know how much, where to put different resources and stuff on the trail. Those registrations continue to be down from the last couple years, and particularly from 2018. 2018, we had a peak of 4,650 hikers that had registered their through hike. So we have really cut that in half since 2018. and 2019, we had pretty much the same on the trail that had registered then with the ATC. And of course, that's fallen from the last couple years that I have been tracking as well. So we'll see if that continues to go. Don't expect a huge groundswell of people all of a sudden to register this late in the season. So it looks like this season is going to be down again. Last season was down about 30% from what I'm told by folks that are from shuttles folks that give shuttles and people that have commerce on the trail, hostel owners, people like that, said it was down about 30%. So it looks like it's going to be down below that. So where are we right now with the hikers? Well, we are pretty much coming up on the almost into the middle of the bubble. I'd say we're dang near close. The next week will be about the middle of the bubble where it starts. You can see that here on registrations, the registrations graph, and you can also see it on the heat map where the bubble has pretty much taken off and is in Georgia right now. So we'll watch that as it moves on up the trail. On our support list, we've got 26 hikers that are coming up over the next week. That's too many for me to go ahead and list all of them out, particularly this video is going to run over today. But go to the support list down below to see who those people that are starting. Go to theirs, and that's where you'll find their social media, and then that way you can go and give them an attaboy, attagirl, or atta whomever all the way throughout the course of their trip. Keep them pumped up all the way out throughout the course of their hike. If you're not on it and you want to get on it, go to the forums link down below and you'll be able to put yourself on that so other people can go and find your social media links. Forest Service, as we mentioned before, reported that they were doing a fire there at Max Patch, and there's a prescribed burn. So again, let me know if that has been out. There's also we talked earlier a couple episodes ago about a prescribed burn taking place there the 1st of March in Burning Town Gap. Let me know if that's gone and that's done. They don't ever give end dates, they just give start dates. And that is really depends on the weather too. That may shift as well. Let me know if that's out. There should be no detours you have to take around that. You may just have to stop for a little bit while they hold you in place while they let the fire burn down, or maybe get an escort to take you through there. But none of those prescribed burns should close down the trail this year. Here's a list of the prescribed burns that they're going to be having here in the beginning of the season, and this is the beginning of the season now. And this is prescribed burns in Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, and on into Virginia. So take a look at this, maybe do a screenshot. It's got the locations, and really what's more important is it's got the NOBO miles on it. That's more helpful than some of the locations may not ring a bell to you. We can expect to have more prescribed burns that are taking out the fuel from Hurricane Helene. It was over a year and a half ago. A lot of, particularly the small stuff, is now dried out and is now just fuel for a big fire to get started. We start coming up on storm season. Fires get started with lightning and they can really wreak havoc in there. So we can expect to have more prescribed burns this year and really over the coming years to get rid of some of that fuel that's in there. Do want to caution people not to send your winter gear home yet. Everybody wants to lighten their load, and so they send home their thermals and their heavy sleeping bag and stuff. This is not the time to do that. You may get to your campsite and it be warm and you set it up and it look like this, and then when you wake up in the morning it's going to look like this, and that's going to be cold. So don't send your stuff home just yet. Give it some time, give it a few weeks, maybe a month, and you'll be able to send that stuff home. But if you're at altitude and you pitch your tent somewhere, you may wake up cold. So just keep that in mind. Blue Bear, he is a member of the Green Mountain Brigade, so that's a branch of the Rural Rangers, which is a boys mentoring group. And so they have a hiker feed every year at Burning Town Gap. So they camp there, they kind of dress in period costumes, and they are period wear, whatever you want to, clothing if you will, and they put on hiker feeds. They're doing it March 20th through the 21st. This is their 9th year doing it. They always let me know, so they just don't want people to double up and a trail angel show up there and thinking he's going to have a spread for people when they've got a whole encampment full of spreads. So trail angels out there, that would be a good time to head somewhere else, and because Green Mountain Brigade, they will cover Burning Town Gap up. Then got about a month before I'm heading across the big pond to do the Camino Santiago, the Francés Camino, particular Camino that I'm doing. There's a lot of Caminos. I'm doing the Camino de Santiago Francés starting in St. Juan Pita Port and going all the way to Compostela. So I'm pumped up about that. Looking excited to get back. Just it's on trail, so but it's a lot different than hiking the Appalachian Trail. So it's more of a pilgrimage, and it definitely will be a pilgrimage for me as I go and talk to the Lord and thank Him for what He did to heal me of my cancer. And appreciate everybody's prayers that sent those in for that. I firmly believe He healed me of that. So I'm pumped up about that. If you have been on the Camino before in April and May, I am very interested to know if the crowds are crowded enough to where you needed to reserve ahead for your albergues. Albergues are the hostels. And then, did you reserve ahead, or could you just get one, a bed when you got to that albergue? And then I also want to know, what were some of your favorite albergues along the way? I'd like to hear some of those. I want to hit the special ones if we can. But in any case, getting excited about doing that with me and my son Chance Man. Folks, that's all I got this week. As always, appreciate you, and we hope to see you out here.